You've been wondering why there's so much emotional density, and the angels show me that it's been like there's had to have been a really big wave. So if you imagine you've got all this stuff within you and you've worked on so much, and then there's remnants, and then you think you're done, but then there's another layer, and you know how the healing journey goes. And a really big wave has had to come through. Just imagine a big, massive, thick wave. I would almost want to say tsunami, but it's not quite it. It's more of a thick wave. And as it comes, there are these times where so much has come up out of nowhere all of a sudden. And it could be old memories, nostalgia, pain, deep wounding. You know how it goes. And it is so intense that you almost think like, what is wrong with me? I can't handle this a second longer. What is going on? And then it needed to come up that big, almost like I'm being shown now, like instead of pulling out a little weed, it's like a big, massive weed. And like with all these roots, and you have to get a bulldozer or something really strong to really pull it out of you. So do you feel that one? Yeah, that's the heavy stuff, right? So on an energetic level, a big energy wave has needed to come through in whatever time space that connects with you. At the bottom of all of this is all our layers of density that coming from our lowest main chakra, which is the root. And that is all the survival energy, all the programming of so many things, parenthood, society, just everything connected to finances, structures. And we can see in the outer sphere that all of this stuff is being knocked down, and we're moving out of the old era. However, we're kind of in now what looks like post-tsunami landscape of just, and seascape for very much big water energy there, of just debris everywhere. And it's like, well, what do we do now? It's like we're preparing, getting this very big feeling. We're preparing to rebuild. That's what it is. How does that feel? Rebuild, build in the new era. However, the new era, it is like, yes, on some levels it has come already. On other levels, it is not here yet. And we're kind of in this in-between zone. So in the in-between zone, it's like you got a foot in the old world, a foot in the new world, and you're neither here nor there, and it can be quite disorienting and uncomfortable. That's the downside. On the positive side, you can have these moments of great refresh and reset and hope and invigoration and inspiration and drive and you make and peace. Because when you're looking at all that's old and distracted, you're like, great, let's pick up these pieces. What are we creating now? So it's a constant tweaking I'm hearing and feeling of what you want to create and how you want to be and how are things going to look, because we're in this very heavy landscape of financial, economic, and all the things crisis. And the key is to not hook into the crisis energy. They make a pun, rather the Christed energy, not crisis, Christed. So bringing in the light, connecting with that, hooking into God, Source, Christ, the angelic realms, the benevolent light that is here for us, that is here to protect us, guide us, and help churn things, CHURN, like really just because it's almost like we're in this concrete mixer. and things haven't quite settled yet. And you have moments where they have. We're also just moving through so many different timelines. It's extremely disorienting. And you can have a host of ascension, awakening symptoms. Some of those are physical: headaches, migraines, uh, just even odd things like rashes, throat stuff, mucus, watery eyes, strain in the eyes, so many things. Also, on a mental level, you can feel like you're going crazy. You can feel like you can't stop thinking and processing things. Things are not computing, and you just really, really need some peace and quiet and space. Then on an emotional level, emotions are just so, there, right? On the surface, you can feel them. It's like you're crying and screaming inside. And they come and go, and they go up and down. And on a spiritual level, so much is happening, because from the beginning to end of time, it's all about spiritual warfare, and we are spiritual beings. So it all comes back down to energy and how you can find your way and cope in all of this. So during this time of major transition, and we're going to move forward, I'm feeling like we're going through portal upon portal upon portal of transition and changing energies. And you're going to have moments where it's like, what the F, right? And again, not crisis, but Christ. It can feel sometimes like, the angel showed me an image of like a pressure chamber or like a tube. In fact, the tube matches quite well with the thick wave as well, because it's like you're going through this channel. It's like the baby preparing for birth, and as it gets squeezed, it's in a lot of pressure. And so there's this feeling of great pressure and intensity and contraction as you go through that tube. And you're just like dying to get out on the other side, right? And breaks are provided when you can come out. Then you feel like you're back in it again, or in a new one. So I would call that like the great squeeze, but it's all heading towards something brighter. It just needs to be pushed out by the waves that come through. Also, I would like to make note of grief and sorrow, like having moments of that, as well as anything else you might be experiencing, such as great anxiety, stress, not feeling like yourself, wondering like things don't seem as they ever were before, and things like that. So just some validation there, that you feel like reality is changing, and sometimes you wake up and it's like, am I even in the same world again? Um, and just the grand intensity of all the news items. I really have been getting quite strongly to reduce the amount of exposure to news media, as well as the scroll. And you know that you do this, and I know how hard it is, and it truly is addictive. And sometimes we don't even realize that's what we're doing. But I strongly recommend that you minimize uh, the scrolls on social media. You're just being bombarded, and it is affecting your nervous system, which is already under a lot of pressure. Also, a part of this whole sort of breakdown before breakthrough period is that you can experience a sense of isolation for long, even periods of time. You don't want to be around other people. You find you can't just relate to or connect with others. You get bothered by people and environments. And you might have an extremely low tolerance to certain people, places, or work environments or situations. And it's like you just can't cope with it all anymore. So just another validation there with that one. So the anecdote to all of this is just to keep things simple, stay off of social media or reduce it highly and all that stuff, and come back to you. Breathe, sit out in the sun, enjoy some time and space, get as much peace as you can, and just keep things simple. Connect with God, source, it is here, and all the light that is here for us, because also so much incoming energy has been happening for so long now for us, and sometimes it's intolerable, but you've done so well The angels commend you. You've done an excellent job. So keep soldiering on, because yes, it feels like you're a soldier, right? I just saw 1111. So on that note, let's remember who we are. Come back to center. You are safe, protected, all is well.